I'm thirsty.
I'm so wild about Harry, and Harry's wild about me. Oh, I'm so wild about Harry, 'cause he's a do-what-up, cannot do it up, he's not being without me!
SUJA is known to find the most perfect balance of ingredients to create a perfect taste. Well, in this case, it was easy! It's SUJA brand cold-pressed organic celery juice. Generous stalks of celery chosen one day after harvest are high-pressure processed with a splash of lemon, resulting in a drink as crisp as your favorite veggie with a taste that can't be beat. Drink SUJA to ensure a long, beautiful life. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Limbo Texture.
I'm thirsty.
I might as well. The subject of texture, it comes up in many an episode. In fact, almost every episode I talk about texture, just a little bit at least. But here, I have nowhere to run from it. It's going to not only be the same exact deal, it's going to be like the coup de grace texture talks, the final exam. I like to think you guys know me pretty well by now, and if I were to task you watching this right now on the spot, just at random say, hey, you viewers, name one thing about your good buddy DJ Clive. Chances are, you probably said out loud, this is the guy who really hates vegetables, he hates fruits, because he harps on it all the time. And yes, I mean, I really do. As a matter of fact, I mean, it kind of makes this show the fun show that it is, because anytime that I eat, like, say, a Brussels sprout or a lima bean, I have this strange, inhuman reaction. I start to dry heave. I start to make weird comical noises going, although I know that most people do not have that reaction. What is it about me? I just can't take vegetables. I just think they feel all sorts of strange in my mouth. I mean, not too long ago, there was this thing going around Facebook, and it like had 4 pictures of different kinds of foods, and it says, eliminate one from your life, and it was like steak, chicken, like mashed potatoes, and greens. And to me, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't everybody pick greens? But no, people were saying, oh, I have to get rid of that steak. I don't even eat steak, and I gotta get rid of the greens. I mean, who chooses greens over any of that stuff? I'm gonna tell it to you straight. I don't hate vegetables. I actually think a lot of them are fine. A lot of them taste okay. I don't know if there's any that I really enjoy. I don't know if there's any that I like, but there are lots of vegetables out there that I can endure. But that's just the taste. What I can't endure is the way that they feel. I said in the past that I like broccoli and spinach, and yeah, I like them. I like them well enough as a side dish. But you have a side dish here. You have a big plate of meat. Wouldn't you rather just sweep that side dish away and take some more meat instead? To me, that should be understood. To me, everybody should feel that way. But they don't. They like their vegetables. I am very much in the minority here. I am a freak show. When I was a kid, I used to love when my mom made chicken, because after the chicken was done, there would still be this carcass left over, which meant you could tip the thing over and sweep all those vegetables, all that corn that you don't want, and you tip the thing over on top of it, adequately hidden, it all ended up in the trash, every time. And I said that I like broccoli, to an extent. I have to eat it in really tiny little itty-bitty pieces. I usually start with the little florets on the top because they kind of crumble while you eat them, and I leave the stem behind. I mean, unless the stems are really tiny, sometimes you get that, I'll eat those down. But if you got those like really thick broccolis, forget it, I want nothing to do with them. It feels like I just went gardening and I pulled a bunch of wet roots and I wet them a little bit more with the hose and I just ate them while they were still cold. And it's not because I don't like the taste. I actually like the taste a lot. I just don't like the way it feels in my mouth. The same goes for all vegetables out there, and I've tried them all. Yes, I mean, there are a few scant ones out there that I haven't tried yet, which are top contenders for the show. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, but they all have that same effect on me. I take a bite of them, it sends like this weird invisible bolt of electricity straight through my teeth, straight through my gums, into my nerves, and it like travels deep down into my taste buds and just gives them a little brumski. It goes blah, blah. And that weird feeling that it gives you, it sends a chill down your spine, it gives you goosebumps. It's kind of like when somebody scrapes their nails down a blackboard or when you bite into a popsicle stick. It's just a weird, uneasy feeling. That's what I get when I eat a vegetable. I'm cursed. And the same thing goes for fruits. And I mean, besides maybe a grapefruit, I love the taste of most fruits out there. I can't think of a single fruit besides the grapefruit that I actually hate. Fruit juice, I could drink that by the boatload. I think it's delicious. And as for vegetables, I mean, there's ways that you can prepare it that it doesn't feel so much like random plant matter in your mouth. Like, I can eat a salad okay, if you pour all sorts of goop on top of it, maybe put some bacon bits and some croutons on there. But yeah, I mean, the whole basis of my fruit and vegetable ingestion is that I just need to hide the fact that I'm eating a fruit or a vegetable. It can't feel like some kind of weird plant in my mouth. And there's no worse example of that than a stalk of celery. A few times in my life I've had celery, and it's been one of the most horrible, traumatic experiences of my life! The few times that I've had celery in my life, it's like eating firewood. It's like having something that is so wet and so dry at the same time in your mouth! And my simple mind can't handle that! And then I witness people putting salt on it. I witness people putting sugar on it, or like peanut butter. Peanut butter on celery? Why not just take a fistful out of a dumpster and just eat that? That's how random those things are that you're putting inside your mouth. And I don't mean to pick on you people out there. It's just, I just don't understand. I'm just like living in the dark. I don't understand. Like, why would you do that? Are you trying to hide the taste of the celery by putting that stuff on there? Are you trying to fool your body into eating something that you don't like? Because that I would understand. Is it a taste that you have to ease into? Is it a taste that you have to grow up with? Because I've had plenty of those. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I had beer. I was drinking it just to look cool in front of my friends, and I was drinking it and not enjoying it all the way through. I was just choking it down, but as I drank more and more over the years, I started to develop a palate for it, even started to notice like what makes a good beer and what makes a bad, like, cheap dime store beer. Is celery the same way? Because I can't picture somebody trying celery for the first time and saying, oh wow, this is delicious. When I tried celery for the first time, it was like being punched in the mouth! And I've been harping this whole time about texture, but in this case, it was the texture and the taste bludgeoning me and double-teaming me into submission! You can imagine how I felt. When I look at something like this, SUJA brand, I mean, they've proven me wrong before, cold-pressed celery juice. How important is texture in this case? By getting rid of the texture of celery, is there any way to make it somewhat appetizing and delicious, or at least tolerable, to me? And the cold hard facts is that I haven't even so much as thought about celery in the past 2 decades. I'm sure once I pop this top and take my first whiff, the memory is gonna come flooding back to me. Smells kind of sweet. Smells almost doable. Query. Ingredients: organic celery juice, organic lemon juice. Lemon juice? Could that be the ultimate key to making a celery edible for me? Liberty and justice for all. Oh, listen to that, how clever. SUJA is made sunny in San Diego, where we pick our favorite local fruits and veggies and then chill them out with cold pressure to keep them feeling fresh and tasting delicious. We bottle up the power of plants so that you can make nutrition your bliss. It's a fun little sales pitch, but is it gonna work on me? I am the ultimate case. I am like the end boss to freaking Metroid Dread. You ain't beating me anytime soon. I'm still trying to this day. Freaking Raven Beak. By the end of the second phase, I don't have any missiles left. How do they expect me to do a third? Maybe I forgot to shake it. Yeah, that was the problem. I didn't shake it. It tastes exactly the same. And I'm kidding. I didn't tastes like horse shit! Every second that it's in your mouth, you're gonna want to spit it out! And you know what? SUJA, I'm not mad at you. As a matter of fact, I actually applaud your efforts, but you can only do so much with the tools that you are given. Making celery into something halfway appetizing, the idea of celery juice is like going on Chopped and having as your secret ingredients like Indian Gomutra, the One Chip Challenge, durian fruit, and dung-smoked whale testicle beer. And the lemon, it is really trying its damnedest to withstand this wall of disgusting celery taste that's coming at it. But it's losing that battle. As a matter of fact, it kind of makes me want to cry for it. I feel really bad for that lemon because this is a domineering force. The lemon is basically being forced to submit to it like a dominatrix. I mean, it's an easier way than actually eating celery to get your celery vitamins, but SUJA has a lot of different, like, assorted drinks in their repertoire that it serves the same purpose. You'll probably get same or at least similar types of vitamins from those drinks, and those drinks are a lot more tolerable than this right here. Now, if you like celery, there's a chance that you might like this, but I don't see how the heck that's possible. I don't see how anybody can drink this and find it appetizing. I don't see you drinking this on a hot day and it making you feel cool and refreshed. And as it is, every sip that I take, every gulp that I inhale is like its own private nightmare. It's like Jason Bateman kidnapped me and threw me into a dank metal basement. They're shining like a hot light on me, I'm sweating underneath it. They're playing death metal music, trying to break my soul. And then one of them gets the bright idea, hey, you know what? I have a brilliant way to torture this guy. And they beat me up until I'm almost unconscious. They throw me on the ground. They open my mouth up real wide, maybe with like a vice, and they take a full stalk of celery. They shove it in my mouth and start pounding it into my mouth with a ball-peen hammer. Whack, whack, whack. It's crushing at the back of my throat, and I'm like, gah, gah, gah. By the time it's halfway down like a railroad spike, I'm already dead, but I'm still just laying there like, and it's turning to paste in my throat. The freaking froth is billowing out the sides of my mouth. That is the experience that you're gonna get drinking SUJA cold-pressed celery juice. Does that sound appetizing to you? So if I were to give this a star rating, I'm gonna give it 1 star. I'm gonna be lenient on it because, as bad as this was, eating a full stalk of celery would actually be worse. This actually made the whole experience a lot easier. So I guess it accomplished something. And now that I drank this straight down to the bottom, I consider this my go-ahead to take this bottle, put it over here, and go back to not thinking about celery for another 20 plus years. It's your good buddy DJ Clive saying until next time. This isn't the outro music. What's going on? Oh, it's you from the beginning of the show. Huh. You did a good job. So this is your good buddy DJ Clive saying...
My name is Gladys.
Gladys? That's a name you don't hear much anymore. Mostly old ladies now that I think about it.
Do not assume my age.
Sorry, I don't want to be cancelled.
I'm just a bear trying to make a name for himself, and I came across your program. I hear you do not like celery. I have a suitable alternative for you. Why not try some sawdust?
Sawdust?
You wet it a little bit on the floor, sweep it into a glass, drink it like a smoothie. It is surprisingly delicious. My favorite flavor, flavorless.
That's great, Gladys.
You ever eat computer paper? Like out of the paper shredder?
I can't say that I have.
It's very refreshing. Steel cut. My favorite is Hammermill International. 99% jam-free with color lock. Premium tooth finish. I like to top it off with a silicone-flavored salad dressing for a little moisture.
A little moisture.
A little moisture. You can eat broken glass too, despite what you might have heard. You just need to grind it into a fine enough powder.
That's great.
You can safely swallow it without sustaining damage to your epiglottis. It tastes like wind and air. Also, wet leaves. Wet leaves are good, especially in those autumn months where the colors change. Try to eat the orange ones. The red ones are not as good. Now grass. Grass is only okay after you've aged it some. I find the best way to enjoy grass is to keep it in your lawnmower bag for at least 5 weeks. It turns into more a mulch. Offers up the most tasteless, delicious flavor. Or rather not flavor. You ever taste it? Or rather didn't taste.